Alright, this is one of my most important sketchbooks in regards to my artistic journey and improvement. So this sketchbook right here is the one that I was working on during the winter break of 2017. And I actually showed this sketchbook to the CalArts representative during Portfolio Review Day. This sketchbook I filled mainly during the 2 weeks of winter break, and then I spent maybe a week on it once I got back to school, but then I kind of stopped working on it to move on to other sketchbooks. But without further ado, let's jump into this. So in this sketchbook, I mainly wanted to focus on direct observation and drawing in pen and colored pencil. So we're starting out with figure drawings. Yep. And so what I would do, I would make a sketch in colored pencil and then I'd go over it in pen. And then on the right page, I would do hands and feet observations so that I could improve in drawing hands and feet. My cat. I want to make this video faster than my previous one. But yeah, so the drawings start off really bad. Because before this, I hadn't really tried drawing people. You know, like I'd only drawn people once before. And so this one I really wanted to challenge myself with that. And I also started drawing cars a lot. That was my dad, cars. So wherever I went, this sketchbook went with me. Yeah, so I remember I would take it to me, like if we would stop at restaurants, if we were in the car, if we were going to church, I'd draw, and I'd draw, and I'd draw, and I would not stop, ever. This was during Christmas, I'm pretty sure. This was at a park, people were walking around, and none of these observations are good. None of them are, honestly. Not at least when I first started out. Gestures, figure drawing gestures, gestures. I've gotten so much better at gestures, it's insane. But again, it's all a process, you know? Like, oh, this is when I went to the Miami Zoo. So here, my dad took me, I was with my dad during winter break in Miami. And so he took us to the zoo, and I was so excited because I could finally draw animals. These were chimpanzee gestures. That, I don't know, like this was so important because I hadn't really had the chance to draw animals previously, or I wasn't at least brave enough to, and it wasn't at this level, you know? And they're not good. Again, these gestures aren't CalArts level. They're not meant for a portfolio. They were simply meant for me to draw every day and improve, and to just focus on the human form, you know? And then I think this is when I got back. So this is when, I'm pretty sure this was when I was on my way up from Miami, and this was my first day back at school. So I'm just gonna flip back to when I was first drawing people from direct observation. Here, right? So this is when I first started during Christmas break, not Christmas break, winter break. And then when I got back, 2 weeks later, I was drawing like that. So definitely some improvement there. And yeah, when I got back, I kept drawing, and I mainly focused on texture. I love texture. I love hair, and I love wrinkles in clothes. This was at a pep rally. I was drawing people moving around, you know. And I think what I did for this, I would draw the overall gesture of the person, and then I'd add details. But again, they're not good. They're really scratchy. You know, they're not great. But I was drawing like this anyway because I knew the more that I drew, the more I'd improve. That's my cat. And, you know, I did end up improving a lot more in like 3 weeks, more than I had previously. Oh, this was at the Tampa Museum of Art. I drew the sculptures there. But something that I noticed now that I look back on it is I wasn't very brave with pencil. Like, there isn't much contrast between light and dark here. It's mainly, it's like insecure sketching. We're drawing. I think this was, no. I don't know, I just kept drawing more people, focusing on details like hair and clothing and stuff. That was Mr. Han. He's one of the guidance counselors at my school. My teacher, a classmate, you know, but I couldn't draw like this, like a few weeks before, you know? It was all practice and practice and practice. I mean, I took this book around me so many times, I actually broke it. And I had to tape it back together. I'm sure you saw that towards the beginning. This was when we were driving up to Ringling College of Art and Design for Portfolio Review Day. I think this was something that I drew here, and then from here and behind was what the CalArts representative saw, and I'm so embarrassed because it's not great, but he told me to keep on drawing, keep doing what I'm doing, and then I'd improve. I think this was the last page before I stopped working on this, yeah, and moved on to more sketchbooks. But, you know, this sketchbook was so important to my overall artistic process. I mean, I love this sketchbook so much, I ripped open the cover and I had to tape it. Like, without this sketchbook, I wouldn't have been able to, I wouldn't have been brave enough to continue drawing in direct observation, and I certainly wouldn't be at the level to apply to CalArts a year later, you know? And yeah, this is one of the most important sketchbooks I've ever worked on. I don't know, so I wanted to share it with you guys, just in case you were wondering where I started or how I started. So yeah. Thank you again for watching this video, and if you want to apply to CalArts, or if you're just starting out in art, just focus on the basics first and then draw from direct observation, you know, draw every day, don't stop, you know, like try to fill a sketchbook, a direct observation sketchbook in a month or in a week, like push yourself to improve and you will. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys later.